So yeah, I'm out and about, but I'm still gonna give you guys some content. This is for my students, wherever you're at. Hello. You guys are probably in the Telegram, but I thought I'd just record what I'm putting inside the Telegram. And you know what? I'll probably continue to do so. What I wanted to focus on, and the reason why I even put this on is because I want you guys to take note of. Let's pull my phone. Take note of this is the typical algorithmic entry here. Price did shoot up 14.71 pips, 8.1 pips, and then came to take us out. So, reason why is we have news at 1:30. So, if we're looking at the chart, we can see 1:30, boom, price is taken out, ordered by momentum, boom, sell side liquidity taken out. Yeah, all the lows that were issued the beginning of the New York session. So, when there is red folder news, we've got distribution or manipulation. Distribution would be price moving off, and then all we have on the flip side, manipulation, where price will do what it's done today. Instead of continuing the algorithmic move, it's going to turn around and take you out first. So the whole hypothesis or bias right now is waiting after this liquidity has been taken out to continue the move up. On the economic calendar, we can see that from the unemployment claims, price did shoot up for, was it 241K? So it's actually higher than its actual forecast, sorry, predicted forecast as well. So that's giving me more of a reason to expect the price to push. But we'll watch, we'll have a look, let's see. I'm just gonna watch price with you on this one. So we'll have a look. If price does close with this candle, let's say like this, and issues an FEG, I'm gonna see that as like a floor of resistance, like a floor trampoline, if you like, for price to dip into and propel off. All of that would seem normal and valid for my execution. Just seen someone drive past. I'm actually looking at your car, mate, not your bird. Mine was nice and yours. Okay, cool. So I'm on my phone, and as I've zoomed in, I've noticed that the doji before isn't actually a selling or black candle. It's actually a buying candle. So if it were to be a selling candle, then I'd be looking towards an execution to the upside. So if you are trading on your phone, this is a fine example as to why you should always take a second look, a bit more discernment, zoom in just to make sure. I've lost money from it before. It is real, it does happen. And to be honest, it is fairly, let's wait for this. It is fairly like a schoolboy error. So to be honest, if when you're seasoned, you shouldn't be doing stuff like that. You know what I mean? That separates you from the boys to men. It's taken me a while to accept that I just don't have the time to sit in the studio and give you guys live content. So I'm just literally going to be dishing out content any way I can because it's still going to be valuable anyway. It's just actually my background. So I actually just noticed it's a me thing. Do you know what I mean? I actually thought it was something to do with where you guys would want the content. But to be honest, because I am spitting valuable content, if you know it and you feel it, then you'll just get on with it. Do you know what I mean? All of that, all the grander stuff, it's irrelevant. A lot of people talk about like spoken around me or to me saying in a nutshell that if I don't have a Lambo or a Rolly, then I'm not a trader. Do you know what I mean? Like that ticks their stereotype boxes, which is fine. I obviously understand that coming back from Colombia. In fact, you know what? Well, yeah, but um, I'm just gonna push it out anyway. Do you know what I mean? When you overstand a certain thing and you come past Instagram and stuff, if you're a trader and you've been trading for a while, it's kind of like new money and old money. You're not you get bored in it. Trading is boring. It's not like the come up. The come up is great. Trying to figure it out. Do you know what I mean? Doing Einstein on the chalkboard sort of thing. That's great. You've got the adrenaline. You're climbing up a hill. But once you've reached the top of the mountain, so you have a playbook that is profitable, it's working. You've got nothing else to do but just put peas down. Then you're just you then just practice working like a robot. Do you know what I mean? Mechanically. And then after that, you're just an autopilot. Then you can branch off to teaching, creating sales funnels, stuff like that, courses. Um, yeah, look at price moving up. I want this. I want all this movement. It's moving without me. This is called FOMO. But we're gonna wait to execute. Decent displacement. I wonder well, I'm in the trade. Regardless, price is always gonna move. So that's how to that's how to get over the life FOMO. Just chill. With the reassurance that the market's gonna be open rather whether you're in or not. So you just chill. It takes a long time to accept and I'm using and the pause deliberately to actually practice that because it takes a while for you to learn it and then to actually change your human behavior. That's the that's the next step. Everyone's personality is going to be different, especially when it comes to risk management. Risk management is the easiest one that I think traders will teach because the analogies are easier. If somebody doesn't have a very high tolerance to losing money, then they would lean towards risking 1 to 2% or even 0.5 or 0.25, as opposed to when you are a person who likes or has a high risk tolerance, so they're happy to lose like 2 all the way up to 6, which is crazy percent. And then when you're techie on the charts and you're managing, let's say prop firms or what have you, then what you'll do is you'll find is you'll be, let's say you're the type A person who doesn't have a high risk tolerance. When you're funded and you risk small percentages, you'll be happy. You'll be like, oh, this is cool, that's normal, sort of thing. But when you wanna or if you were to take on a dynamic approach, so you're going to be aggressive during your evaluation, then during your funded, you're going to be more defensive. That beginning phase when you're going in aggressive, it's going to be hard for you. You'll probably make mistakes. That's Those are the times where your FOMO is going to get to you, all the anxiety, all of the personality things that you don't really understand because maybe it's the beginning of your journey, that trading journey. Maybe you're not trading enough. When I say enough, you're not risking enough to actually make your heart race. Obviously, that's not the goal, but in the beginning, you, well, I'm assuming you wouldn't trade heavily, do you know what I mean, to make your heart race. So this is excluding the gamblers beginning. Yeah, someone's just chatting. Yeah. Even when it comes to, in fact, uh, let me mention. So if you were to execute, or if you were to have one of my students, if you were to have had executed, you would have lost a trade and you would have thought, oh my gosh, what's going on? Like, why is it not? Why didn't it work? Or maybe you'd feel it's just due to, the probability. But no, it's just after you learn the algorithmic pattern that you're actually executing, that you're using to execute, then you will have the question of time in it, like when. So when do I execute in it? You can obviously execute it algorithmically, but that's when there's no red folder news interrupting your day. Now, with red folder news, you don't have to execute after the news, but like, you should if you want the easiest ride. Do you know what I mean? By the time there's the manipulation, you're just expecting the retracement and you're getting it. Do you know what I mean? Alternatively, though, if let's say for example your personality-wise, you're not that disciplined, you can't not pull the trigger, or let's say you come from a gambling or a scalping background, so you're usually always executing. What I found, like teaching my students in the past, is you can execute both times. So instead of one execution per session, you can do two. So you do one algorithmic entry. So you split your initial risk. Let's say it's £100, you decrease it by 50%, so half off. So then you've got £50 on the algorithmic entry. Cool. And then if it were to lose, you've got another £50 for your entry after the manipulation. Obviously, you could play with the numbers with regards to splitting it in half. That would then become a more, I want to say, detailed. Um, that becomes a more layered and more sophisticated, more complex and better system in your playbook, because then you'd say, all right, cool. So you do back testing to see what the numbers are like, thus to find the probability of which one is best to execute from, or is it best to just, because there are a lot of traders on YouTube that say that, price always moves, don't worry about red folder news, price will always move, which is cool. Most of you guys are swing traders, ain't it? So when you understand the thing, you kind of say, alright, cool. If you're an intraday trader, that little manipulation will take you out. So you might want to say, alright, cool. So with my instrument, is it always a manipulation? Is it always a rally that's where you want to be thinking with regards to sharpening a knife. But yeah, man, when you've got for me, I'm the trader, full honesty, full disclosure, and all these type of things, all this full transparency. When you have a brain that can do more than one thing, you won't just do more than one thing. Otherwise, you'd be lazy. But I'm actually not lazy. So, like, I could sit at home and trade. But if I were to sit at home and trade, that means for, let's say, for example, for 1 decade, all I've done is trade. Um, if I have, or when I have the opportunity to pass over whatever I'm building to my children, the question would be, what if they don't like trading, which is highly probable. I work in a probabilities business, so um, yeah, I mean, it comes down to the dean. What are you doing it for? All them type of things, all those type of things. Yeah, man, be diverse of whatever you're doing, whatever you're passing over. My children are still young, so I can't really say what they're going to be good at. Otherwise, of course, you can just aim your businesses towards their personalities to make sure it continues. It's only sometimes you get like the Ian Flemings or like the people who had fathers who are in the same profession and then they went on to do great. It's not always the case. More time, like when I meet rich people, they don't want to live in their father's shadow. They want to prove that they can do it themselves. Which, I mean, don't take any offense of that tone, but what you have to understand if you're ready for this is that's actually how you sound. Of course, if you're not at that stage, if it's like early 20s or whatever, you may not actually understand that. But no, you have to remember a lot of people haven't come from the same beginning. So where you might think X is hard, someone else might think that same X is easy, vice versa. So it's all perspective type of thing. Yeah, man. Price is dry. It's not really giving it up yet. This is, I feel like, where the whole sniper entry all comes from, really, because you're sitting and waiting for the execution. So if there is a girlfriend somewhere reading, watching this video, listening to this content, then this is the part where this bit's for you, where you can understand. Oh, cool. So my partner. Oh, do you know what? Even boyfriend, Charlie. I mean, shout out my female students as well. Um, I actually know that you're all single. I actually know all my students quite personally. So. It's a good thing I don't disclose their names actually, because gosh, I mean, young female traders, they're not. Um, I mean, can I say this? I'll go for it. Young female traders aren't the women that I was trying to settle. They're the hustlers. They're trying to focus on their mission and doing me stuff like that. So yeah, that's long. But yeah, for your significant other, you can know now that right, like it's not sitting down on YouTube type of thing. It's not um like goofing around. It's actually like I would say you're just waiting at standby. If you've ever watched the Olympics, you're gonna be trading your is mimicking the or a lot like I should say the relay race. When you're waiting for the baton, you're just literally chilling and waiting to grab it and move off. This is literally what we're doing right now. And that's what watching a chart is. That's what watching a chart is. So for the young traders who haven't like made money or stressed out on the charts or what have you, if that person's watching the chart and you go and chat to them, it's kind of like if someone's writing with a fountain pen and they jog and you jog them. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, we're like breaking someone out of a trance. It's kind of mad. But I do put emphasis on that's when you're trading desperately there. Because if the money doesn't mean anything, then you're just gonna, let that or whatever. I mean, the money doesn't mean anything, to be honest. Those type of students, I usually have to watch their risk management more because of their risk frequency, because they've got a higher tolerance to in regards to funds. Like some traders can just trade, lose their prop firm account and buy another one, normal. Whereas some traders, alright, cool. I've got one prop firm account per month. I've got to make this work, which is obviously not the best in it. No, but yeah, it gets like that. Not everyone comes from the same beginning. When it comes to trading prop firms, mm, to be honest, I'm just gonna go because this is YouTube content. I'm just gonna go off what I've seen on YouTube. Obviously, my first funded video, I did it in one day, London session, New York session, but that's not always how it works. Not to say it doesn't happen, but to get straightforward um, passes like that, you just have to be in the game. They always come, do you know what I mean? Just as they go. Lost my train of thought on that one. No execution for now. Still waiting. If you saw my short, you see that there isn't any previous structure. That's actually that should be above price. I mean, maybe in hindsight, when I look again, I'll notice it. But yeah, so I'm actually waiting for a rally. Oh yeah, and as I mentioned, because of the economic calendar, red folder news announcement shooting up. I think I may have missed it though, but it wasn't a great deal. But we'll see, regardless. But yeah, again, students, of course, I'll see you in the flesh, and you'll probably forget by the time I see you. So I'm just doing it in this video now. Watching the video, if you see anything that I could improve or change or whatever, anything that helps you digest the value that I'm trying to give you, just let me know. Just message me. I haven't got the microphone with me right now. If you can't hear me very well, let me know. I'll just get that for next time. Not an issue. I'm trying to do my best to improve my Signals Plus service. My Signals Plus service is literally the signals for the trades that I make. So in my Telegram, I dish out all my trades and give people what I'm thinking and stuff like that. So give people an insight into what I'm thinking and stuff like that. It's basically, I guess it would be like a written transcript of what I'm doing right now, but it's more bullet points. Youths are such lights, from school. So you are walking down the road like he's a girl. Like, well, back in my day, girls would be like, selfie, and all that stuff. This guy's he's a man, still, a young man. Still. Acting. Oh my. I get, maybe it's cool to do that now, yeah. Like, I was growing up, someone's trying to do a selfie or whatnot, and you caught them. They're like, oh, it's just like you caught them. If I don't see anything in a couple of minutes, I will call it off and obviously just continue to trade. I'll keep you guys updated in the chat. If you're a new watcher, contact me on Instagram, Dylan Kane Rose, Medea. This is what I mean, man. All this price action watching, how could I not be doing something else? I mean, if I've got my feet up and every trade is worth like 10k or something, then I guess it's all right. But for me right now, managing, like I'm at managing 100k's, so obviously you can pay for things and live well, but when I worked as a mortgage advisor, someone there was a particular person who worked with international clients, and he would come in from time to time and be like, well, he came in one time and was like, this later became like a conversation that always come to pass. Probably understand by the time I finished writing. Came in and said, "Oh, my friends got my friends have a few pieces of art lying around, and they don't know how to get rid of it. Does anyone know? Because obviously, if you do know, then you can just chop, like, take some money out of it on top of it. The commission's cut, yeah. And then after, of course, we spoke about whatever, build rapport. The international person isn't always in the office, so it takes a while to build rapport and stuff like that. But it's like, so you're saying a couple of friends have a couple of million per piece of art just lying around and they don't know how to get rid of it. What? Okay, so yeah, I'm at 100k, but I'm not even a million funded. Um, I mean, big up Kimmel, he's cold, but I can't remember this other guy's name, man. Jake something, Asian brother. Big you up. I'm gonna actually Chang. I don't even want to do that, honestly. But he likes to trade FTMOs and stuff like that. He likes to he likes to speak very well, speaks very clearly type thing. He's very PG, like you could play his videos to children type thing. He's very clean. Yeah. If I was managing the same amount he was, like he runs up the mini thing, like the way he trades, the way as a business, on point. Feel me? And if I was like that, I'd still want more. But the thing is, when you get to that stage, you kind of have a ceiling. After you choose which prop firm you're going for, they have their maximum scale, and then obviously you can just do it for loads of others and then do your own piece. But if you're a seasoned trader, you know that during that cycle there are breakdowns. Um, and not like breakdowns in communication or breakdowns in relationships, whatever. It's just sometimes there are obstacles in it. For example, for myself, I put all my money into my logistics business, so I don't actually have any cash to put into my trading account. So with that, like I teach my students, you have to be when you're a trader, you make sure to use your pleases and thank yous because now you're a borrower in it. You're not really trying to trade of your own money, you're trying to trade other people's money. That's what makes sense. Even like buying a house, getting a mortgage, investments for businesses and stuff like that. That's what you do in it. So, and yeah, looking for an investor, getting an investor easy, but if I'm honest, the investors don't understand what trading is. Most people don't. Just like in London, how do you get a job without experience? People, it's kind of like how do you get an investor without the Rolex? And then it kind of defeats the whole purpose. You know what I mean? But most people don't know how to speculate. Like most people don't know what a bargain is. Most people don't know what a good deal is. Most people don't know how to say no. Like most people can't see something. Like even with like men and women, most people don't know they've got a good one. Don't let them go. Do you know what I mean? So, all right, let me put this on the flip side. If you're really smart, yeah, then hear what I'm saying. If you are smart, most of the time you're gonna sound dumb because the majority, the masses, are not smart. So actually, I mean, this will go. You know what? I'm gonna aim this towards. Like when you see the younger girls, younger men chatting, like 18 to 24, just chatting like they know, but they haven't been on Earth for that long, like one time. Yeah, this one's for you. Like, you can only understand something if you've had a full experience of it, innit? And if you're young, you haven't had a full experience of anything. Okay, we hovering for now. Make your decision. Let me know if the windows going up and down bothers you too. I'm caught in a bit of heat right now, but I'm doing it for you, getting it done. So yeah, like me myself, for example, I've got a couple of friends who, like I've got a friend who wants to give me some money. He lives in another country, but he said to me he wants to trade. He wants me to come over and see him or whatever. He's only now learning I've got a business. He's only now realizing I've got more than one child. We haven't seen each other in years. So yeah, things just aren't as straightforward, innit? When you actually are busy, when you actually do things, um, more money, more problems. Like if you have more responsibilities, you just like things are less straightforward. I was explaining to my student the other day for my business, I had to buy new equipment and I asked for a loan for the piece of equipment, and he was just like, "Why can't you just use trading money for it?" And I was like, "Well, that would mean that the trading is paying for it, not the business actually paying from it because it's a profitable business." Obviously, he had his rebuttals, easy on, but and then I feel like he did understand what I'm saying. Um, Yeah, things are like that. I mean, you can't really rush growth. If you've only got that £300 at the end of the month for money, for prop firms or for trading, then that's it. Like once you've got a profitable strategy, you can actually make money if you could risk, like you say, like if you're risking £100 per trade, you'd be able to make enough money to pay your rent living in London, definitely. And if your strategy isn't doing that, then you're not there yet, just so you know. Cool. So, um, yeah, but if you've only got a couple of quid, let's say not even 300, that's cool for the 300 person, you got free trades. But for the person who, let's say, at the end of the month, you've only got £50. Let's say your girlfriend's got you in a chokehold, headlock thing, talking about she wants a Gucci bag and a flight, nails did, hair done, and you don't even spend that money on yourself, let alone Charlie. Do you know what I mean? So everyone's got different situations. I've had students who aren't allowed to spend peas on trades because their woman had an experience of trading. So it's a bit mad, or, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm just trying to mimic. It's but it's real. That's the point I'm making. It's real. Everyone's situations are different. And if you were to be techie with it, all the like, look at when you look at the greatest of all time and stuff like that. When you look at people's come up as a trader, you see traders go broke. That's totally normal. Just as like people know that people in business go broke, people in London usually use Simon Cowell. Yeah, gosh. Yeah, people use Simon Cowell a lot. Let me check so we'll call him. Yeah, people use Simon Cowell a lot in London. Yeah, so Simon Cowell, yeah, going broke, and he's still up, or pick yourself up off your feet, whatever. But yeah, trading's like that because certain strategies you have to understand that certain strategies only are profitable certain times of the year because they're actually not that techy at the end of the year. They're actually only good during a certain season. It's like summertime, what have you. Maybe because the prices don't move that much and they're sporadic and they've got a strategy for that or something. When you've got a strategy and you're fairly seasoned, price changes throughout the year. Alright, I'm gonna call it off in a second. I reckon there will be an entry, but I'm gonna call it off just because I do need to speak to a client very soon. I want to prepare for it. But yeah, if this candle is an engulfing candle to the upside, I'm getting it. Thank you for your time.